I disagreed with my history teacher and she got angry and made me call my dad. The state governor picked up. I never liked going out of my way to tell people my dad was the governor. It usually just invited fake friends and weird treatment from the administration. I went to a normal public high school and always tried to keep my head down and blend in. During my junior year, I had a US history teacher named Mrs. Gable. She was incredibly arrogant and treated her classroom like a dictatorship. One Tuesday, she decided to go completely off the approved state curriculum. We were covering World War II, and she started lecturing the entire class about how the United States was completely useless during the conflict. She told a room full of students that our military was full of cowards who hid behind other nations and only joined the fighting to steal the glory at the very end. This angered me as both of my grandparents were decorated combat veterans who fought in that exact war. I raised my hand and politely pointed out the massive logistical and military sacrifices the US made and the actual historical timeline of our involvement. She completely snapped. She marched over to my desk, slammed her clipboard down, and told me I was being highly disrespectful. She walked over to her desk, hit the speakerphone button on her phone, and demanded I call my parents right then and there. She wanted to completely humiliate me in front of 30 other teenagers. I explicitly warned her it was a bad idea and asked if we could just go to the principal. She refused and ordered me to dial the number. So I dialed my dad's direct private line. My dad picked up on the second ring. He asked me if everything was okay since I was calling during his working hours. Before I could even speak, Mrs. Gable leaned into the microphone. She introduced herself and smugly explained that I was causing a massive disruption by questioning her authority and arguing against her lesson plan. My dad has a very distinct and highly authoritative voice. He calmly asked her exactly what she was teaching that I disagreed with. Mrs. Gable confidently told him she was opening our minds to the hidden truth about American cowardice in World War II, and I was refusing to listen. The silence on the other end of the line was deafening. My dad did not yell. He asked her if she realized she was employed by the public school system and was actively feeding anti-American historical fiction to a room full of minors using taxpayer dollars. He then informed her that his own father bled on a beach in Normandy. Mrs. Gable immediately got defensive. She raised her voice and asked him who he thought he was talking to. My dad told her his full name. He followed it up by stating he was the sitting governor of the state. He personally appointed the head of the education board, and he was currently sitting in a meeting with the state superintendent. All the color completely drained from Mrs. Gable's face. The entire classroom went dead silent. A few of my classmates literally covered their mouths in shock. My dad told her she was an absolute disgrace to the teaching profession. He ended the call by stating he was contacting the district superintendent immediately and initiating a full state audit of her classroom materials. The principal was standing in our classroom less than 5 minutes later. Mrs. Gable was escorted out of the building immediately. My dad made a massive deal out of the situation. Instead of getting fired, she was placed on administrative leave and forced to complete weeks of formal state retraining regarding the approved curriculum. The district temporarily revoked her high school credentials and demoted her. She now teaches basic social studies to 6th graders under strict supervision. Just an instant karma moment, I guess. Subscribe for more daily videos.